Y'all, there is yet another storm out in the Gulf, getting ready to possibly develop into another hurricane. It's November. It's getting way late in the year for that. But there's something that y'all need to know to get prepared, and that is communication, right? And there's several ways to do that. And I'm going to show you how easy it is to do and do it legally, and to maybe get you a little bit interested in radios. So I'm going to teach you on how to do GMRS radio and how valuable that can be when communications go down during a hurricane. We saw in the recent ones that, up through Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and one of the biggest thing that a lot of people just didn't understand is cell phone doesn't exist. So as people were up there struggling to get help and things, this could have came in really good handy, and it did for a lot of people. And there's a lot of people that buy these radios. Like this one is the BF8HP, which is the same as the UV5R through Bofang. There's a lot of people that got these radios and didn't know how to use them. They basically just used them to talk walkie-talkie to walkie-talkie. I'm going to show you how to use a repeater. That will greatly increase your range between a mile or two, maybe 3, depending on the terrain and stuff you're around, to 30, 60 miles or so. So I'm going to show you a couple things. So number one, you need a GMRS license. And I say need as in an emergency, you don't need it. But it's a good thing to do. It's $35. There is no test to get that license. You go on the FCC's website, and you register for an FRN number. The FRN number will stay with you for your life. It's free. There's no charge for it. After you get your FRN number, you then go on the FCC's website, and then you register for a GMRS license. Again, no test. All you do is you pay a $35 fee. Within about 24 to 48 hours, typically, it's government, within about 24 to 48 hours, they issue you your call sign, and you have a GMRS license, which would allow you to talk on GMRS channels. All right, so now once you have a GMRS license and a call sign, which again takes about 24 to 48 hours, go ahead and pull up the My GMRS app or go to their website. To register, you will need a call sign to register, so you'll need to do that first with the FCC. Then you want to go ahead and browse repeaters. This is going to pull up repeaters in your area. So, for example, you can see this, and it's going to give you the frequency, the input tones, which is what you need. This one they're claiming is a 35-mile radius for that one, and you'll see other GMRS repeaters in your area. You can also go here to the map, and you'll see I'm here in the Pensacola, Florida area, and we'll get it to pull up here, and you can zoom in and you can see repeaters. So for example, down here in Central Florida, you can go through and find repeaters in the area. You can click on the repeater, and it's going to give you the information for that individual repeater. And it should also give you, usually it'll give you a radius. We go here to view details. See, radius is 10 miles or so. Some of them are much further radiuses. So it just depends. Some of them are like 60-mile radius and stuff. Some of them are even more. It just depends on how high they have that tower and the power output of it. So what you'll do, so I'm going to give you an example up here on where I live. So you would find you a tower, and you'll see the frequency is 462.650 megahertz. And you'll need the input tone and output tone, and you'll also need the offset. The offset for GMRS is almost always 005.000. And I'm going to show you exactly how to set that up in your radio so that you will have that for when you need it. All right, so here's a couple of the most common inexpensive radios that you're going to find. This is a UV5R, or this I think this one specifically is the F8HP. They actually make a pro version of this now, which is a pretty good radio, but it's a different. These range like 15-20 bucks now, maybe even less. I think they're kind of they're just the older model, but they work just as good. These have the little bit updated screen and a couple other variations with that as well. This one is the UV5RM specifically. However, most of these are exactly the same. Don't worry too much about they'll make a bunch of wattage claim issues. Doesn't matter. I promise you. They're all pushing about the same, and wattage on these radios does not make much a difference at all for contact. So I'm going to show you first on this one, since this is one that most people probably have. So what you'll do is you'll see here on the top, I actually already have the frequency put in for the repeater that I was going to get into, which is 462.650. You go here into the menu, and we'll start with 0. That just so it's going to go squelch, and then you're going to scroll up until you'll see the RCTCS tone. Now this is your receive tone. The specific one for this is, you're going to scroll through these tones until you get 141.3. That can be different depending on the actual repeater setting, and that's where on the My GMRS site it actually tells you that. So we'll go to 141.3 because that is for our repeater that we're setting it up for. Then you hit menu to confirm it. Then you'll scroll up to the TCTCS, and we're going to do the same thing, and that one's going to be the 141.3. It's not guaranteed that those are always going to be the same number, and you don't have to actually program the transmit one in there, but I do it anyways. So once you do that, now you're going to scroll up till we get to the offset. Almost all repeaters have an offset, and even if it's not listed, it's probably going to be, you go here where SFT-D, which is your offset. Go ahead and hit menu, and you're going to go until you see the plus sign. Then hit menu to confirm, and you'll go here to offset. This is a default to 000.000. We're going to hit menu, and then we're going to type in what I have currently, which is 005.000, and then hit menu. That will gain us into the repeater. So when I hit the transmit button, it will transmit on that repeater if you're within range. Now, how do you know if you're in range? Go ahead and test it out. I'm currently inside, and I know on this specific repeater I won't hit it, but you'll actually hear the tone of that repeater when you let go of the thing. You can also, if you have your GMRS license, just go ahead and say this is WSI693, just checking in or listening, and just see if anybody out there wants to talk. Don't be afraid to communicate. I know it's scary the first time you try. Just do it. Everybody's friendly. Now we're going to go to this radio over here. It is very similar. It's just got a colorful screen. So we're going to go menu. So we already have our frequency put in, which is 462.65000. This is a UHF frequency. We'll hit menu, and it's going to be very similar. So we've got the RCTCS here. We'll hit menu, and we're already on the 141.3. And we go up here to the transmit one and do the same. Then we go up here to the offset, and we'll just keep scrolling through. And you can see here we're on the plus, which is what we need to be on. And offset of 005 35.000. Now, I am about 14 miles from this repeater, and I am able to hit it. Now, that is going to range widely based on where you're at. UHF does not work well in trees or wooded area and hills or mountains. So, I'm in Florida. We have some rolling hills where I'm at, and of course some trees, and we're in the woods. So those rolling hills do affect me a little bit, but not as much as if you have a mountain in between your way. So a lot of times the repeater will be on top of a mountain. That greatly increases the coverage area, and that greatly increases how far you can reach. However, if it's down in a valley or something, you may only be able to reach about 5 miles out. You may be able to reach 20 miles out. It depends. That's why when people say, how far will these radios reach? It's always, it depends. Now, if you're wanting to talk radio to radio, you just go to the same frequency and you'll be able to talk radio to radio. However, again, range depends. That's going to be anywhere between a mile typically. You'll usually get at least that. But again, I've been in situations where a couple hundred yards is all I get, and I've been in situations where about 5 to 10 miles is what I get. Depends. If somebody's up on a hill, greatly increases that. If they're behind the hill, it greatly reduces that. UHF has a really hard time going through trees. So that's how you program in the repeater. I'm going to show you what it's like using that and talking. It's just like a regular walkie-talkie. Once you're in the repeater, you talk. And I'll give you an example of me talking to somebody in Mobile, Alabama, or maybe Fairhope, Alabama, which is a good 30, 40 miles away. And Mobile's probably a good 60 miles away from where I'm at. And that'll kind of tell you how, you can greatly increase your talking distance by connecting in these repeaters. Yeah, definitely. What is the main purpose of this tower? Is it mainly just for general conversation, or do you guys like to keep that at a minimum?
General conversation. You can get on here with your family. That's what GMS is all about. Family communication.
If you are looking for a radio, again, these are like $35 for this one. It's just the upgraded version of this one, which they're ranging between $15, $20 now. You can get the TID radio. I can link a couple of these below for you guys. Nobody sent me anything, but if you want, I can link them below on the TikTok shop. You can also, of course, go on Amazon. And while you're waiting on the radio to come in, if you don't have one, get the GMRS license and start talking on it. It's fun. There's a lot of cool guys on there. And GMRS is not like ham radio. And I say like as in the personalities of the people are just different. The GMRS is for general communications. It's for talking to your family and friends. It's for going off-road and talking to your other off-roading guys, or hiking. It's a more generalized communication. It's a lot more laid back, whereas ham radio can be that way in some instances. It's not always. GMRS is very family friendly, and one GMRS license for your entire family. That $35 covers everybody in your family, including your in-laws. They use the same call sign, and so that $135 covers everybody, which is also great. And again, no test. Now, I hope that information was kind of helpful. A lot of this can be very confusing, and also once you get your license and you get your radio set up, it can be a little nerve-wracking to kind of key up that first time on a repeater and to talk to somebody. Just do it. That first time is kind of that icebreaker, and we'll get you into it, and you'll probably meet some cool people. There's repeaters all over the country. You saw on the map as you zoom in, there's just more and more repeaters, and most of them are open to the public. The app, the My GMRS, will tell you if it's private or not, and if it is private, they usually will tell you just send in a request, and you do that through the My GMRS website. You just click to send a request to do that, and they'll either approve it or deny it. Nobody owns the airwaves, or I guess we do as taxpayers, but it's just general courtesy to request to use basically using their equipment on a repeater. But almost all of them are very open to it. They set it up for that purpose, for you to be able to, the general public, to use it. So definitely, this is very important. I'm in Pensacola. We've been hit by hurricanes. We lost cell phone service for several days. I did not have this set up, and that would have been very helpful. I've got people that are in North Carolina, Western North Carolina, that just got hit by those hurricanes, and it became very helpful to them to have these. But a lot of them had the radios, but did not have them set up correctly and did not know how to use them. So it's much easier than you think. Once you get that very basic, you'll probably be like me and you get obsessed with it, and you start learning more and more about it. But if you have any questions, let me know. And if you want to see more videos on them, let me know.